Hey, how's it going? So I don't know if you remember, but a little while ago I made a project which would listen to me. It would prompt me in a foreign language and then ask me to translate and then use an LLM. I can't find the code, so I thought it was in this project. Maybe I put it somewhere else. Let's see if Cursor can find it. Hey, I thought I had a project which used Google Chrome's built-in ARS to allow me to talk to an LLM through a translation speech layer so it could quiz me in a foreign language. I thought that was in this project, but I can't find it. Can you check if it exists or not? And I'll just use the built-in auto. This is a very simple task. And I don't know if you know how the quota system works, but you get a huge discount for using auto. And it's no great surprise why. They simply want to redirect you to cheaper models or things that run in-house. But I appreciate the extra tokens. The new month has started. I tend to consume all of my premium tokens and have a ton of auto left over, so I really do need to use it more. I am tempted to try out the new Grok 4.5. It's not quite at Sonnet 5 levels of proficiency, but it's close. It is very, very close, and it is much faster, and it is on a discount. Now, on the one hand, I'm not particularly excited about giving the world's first trillionaire some of my money, but on the other hand, I don't have enough money to fucking matter, and he bought Cursor anyway, so um, what is life? Right? Okay, so I don't think it's going to find it because I think I put it in a different project because I'm stupid. Maybe I should check if I have something called Blue Sky Scripts TTSARS backend agent. Um, yeah, obviously, clearly this is it. And this is stupid and I should stop wasting my time. So stop. Wow. Using my human brain works. I should have started there. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. All right. The Lonely King. The Lonely King. Yeah, this was actually kind of shitty. Okay. I don't remember the state of my project. Does it simply grade on a static story, or is there a dynamic aspect? Is an LLM used for fuzzy matching? If so, which LLM? Okay. I'll be on the base. Yeah, it's good to know how to say. Once upon a time, I wouldn't. There was a time. I guess that's as good a way as any to say it. Explore the project. Now, obviously, I could look at what it's doing, but I want my cursor to look and see what's going on anyway. So, an LLM grades translations, not string matching. Grading is not fuzzy string matching. It's meaning-based LLM grading, which is exactly what I want. Claude Haiku 4.5. Okay. Flask app with session store tutor service TTS cache. Single page. Mm. Oh, I just got a bunch of coffee grounds in my mouth. Oh. You know what? I might need a new coffee maker. If it's going to do that. Or just don't take the last, I don't know, ounce of coffee out of the pot. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. Okay. Oh. Okay. This was always just a proof of concept. I would like to cannibalize it a bit and repurpose it into a more generic LLM-driven tutor with dynamic generation and tolerance, and relying a little on the human to call out when TTS generation failed. Do we have a Whisper QA feedback loop for automatic generation? And if so, does the Whisper model support French? Okay. Okay, I think that this is a very, very simple proof of concept, and I don't think repo does not have a Whisper QA loop wired up. TTS is synthesized cache serve with no round trip check. Your sibling AI library repo does. Why does it know about that? And that's what you'd cannibalize for automatic TTS QA plus human override. What exists where? Deepgram. Oh, the line break was confusing me. Caches MP3s by hash. Faster whispers and requirements, but never imported user backend. Okay. Does Whisper support French? Yes, multilingual Whisper supports French via language French, the model's languages. German, Japanese, and French long-form speech. Okay. All right, let's switch this to Sonnet 5, and we are going to make a plan. Should I use Fable? No, I'm not going to use Fable, because Fable's going to consume an absolutely fucking ridiculous amount of tokens, and then I'm going to be out of tokens for the month. We're using Sonnet 5, which is near Opus levels of comprehension at a fraction of the cost. Now, didn't I just say I wanted to try Grok? It doesn't. It's at the top. Fucking Elon Musk, man. Okay. All right. Hey, I'm giving it a shot. I don't mean to be a negative Nancy here. Corporate overlords have always been the enemy of the people. This isn't new. Okay. So let's see here. Okay. While I would like to utilize the existing technology for speech recognition, I'm not concerned about, let's switch this into plan mode. I'm not concerned about keeping current functionality. It was always intended as a proof of concept. So I would like an AI French tutor which proceeds under the assumption that I already know some French. There are just gaps in my knowledge. This is a radical deviation from the normal start from scratch model of language teaching I have used before. Okay. I would like a backend which stores concepts I struggled with, either words, sentence structures, or grammatical concepts. I would like these to be loosely organized and reduced to a string which the system can interpret via LLM in real time. It should be graduated interval recall. It should use exponential timing for reviewing things, and it should not review things I knew initially. The exponential component should be very large, like revisiting 1 day later, then 4 days, then 16 days, etc. The interval should never drop below 8 hours, and it should work on powers of 4, being mindful of overflow. Okay. This will be AI based. So instead of marking something wrong, it asks what I didn't understand, shows me text, since this can resolve ambiguity. It shows me text after I fix or past, since this can resolve ambiguity. If there was a problem, it asks what the problem was and generally trusts the user me to say what it was. Typically, that I didn't know a word or concept, and it should take my word if I say that the prompt was malformed, etc., without creating work items. Okay, it should have multiple modes. Okay. Freeform mode, review mode for things marked for review, freeform mode, where it comes up with things to drill me on, guided listening mode, where I provide a passage, story, song, lyrics, etc., and then it feeds them to me a sentence at a time to ensure that I understand what is being said, and if I don't, then rework from there. Okay, yes. Okay. Freeform mode will need to be seeded with grammar, textbooks, and word lists, and we will need some token conscious method of dealing with this. The first step will be finding out the gaps in my vocabulary knowledge, which cannot be handled through dumping thousands of words into a prompt. We need to be slightly smarter about this. When we digest textbook or word lists, these will need to be converted into digestible chunks, which are token conscious. Okay. I was thinking something like type word I don't know, French text. Oh my god. Maybe I don't know French at all. Translation and sense. The man. Maybe. Words and concepts. I think we can be dynamic, but we need to avoid too verbose. Note, we will have to use a French voice with deep gram and need to detect LLMs trying to mix French and English, which is a recurring problem. I think Mistral Medium. No, sorry. I'll use Haiku or Sonnet or some shit. I want some intelligence. We can probably use Mistral Medium with a Haiku QA check for most simple vocabulary requests, but it needs a way to detect and report if the request is invalid, malformed, or doesn't make sense. Since the review items are going to be dynamically created, this might turn into more of an issue later. We should have history of which prompts generated which review items, so if there is a problem, we can root cause it later. Okay. Generate a plan for making an interactive AI French tutor or someone who already knows some French and isn't starting from scratch. let me know if you have any questions or ideas, comments, revisions, etc. This is my first time using Grok, so hopefully it doesn't disappoint me. Okay. Maybe we can be dynamic, but need to avoid being too verbose. I have to use a French voice with deep gram and need to detect LLMs trying to mix French and English, which is a recurring problem. Few critical choices will shape the plan. Checking deep gram French. Okay, so for loop review store exponential scheduling. Which should ship first? Guided listening first. Okay. My main use case is finding words I don't know, but I want the plan to include every method, but we can do this one first. Okay, 2. How to find vocabulary gaps without dumping thousands of words into a prompt. Binary frequency band probes, use self-report, no dedicated survey. We need to download word frequencies, and then we need to digest them somehow. Words will translate into concepts, which get added to a database table, which will eventually be administered. Since the number of words in a language is effectively infinite, we will need some strategy so that the priority of grammatical concepts and word administrations doesn't exceed. Yeah, so the priority of grammatical concepts and word administrations doesn't one doesn't block the other. Like, example, we can't have perfect tense priority set so low that the system erroneously thinks we need to administer 60,000 words first. But at the same time, we can't say you can't learn the word fem because we need to review subjunctive first. There needs to be balance. Okay. All right. Stores, interval hours. Yeah, that's fine. Review item shape. Plus a freeform concept note string. Yeah. I like the concept string thing by allowing the LLM to have more freedom in structure. If there is a concept like an idiom or reference or not idiot. Oh my God, idiom or reference or concept I can't even predict, then it can record it. We might want failing cases to be explained in French in case direct translations are not possible, which might happen with more abstract concepts. Okay. Reveal text on struggle. What was the gap? User utterance LLM extracts review items or classifies no work item. Each, okay. All right. Okay, looks pretty good. Generate the plan. Remember that I want it to be voice controlled, and I want the user speaking English, since ARS is not reliable for correcting pronunciation problems. I want it to be voice controlled. The commands, a command cheat sheet should be available for voice control, but also can be hidden. All right, it should generate the plan now. What? Oh, that's fine. That's fine. What does it want permission for? Deep Grand French voices in the current dual lane scheduling, so vocab and grammar don't star each other. English voice control, French TTS. Okay, plan saved. All right. I don't know if I should leave it on Grok. It's in discount mode. Let's just see what it does. All right. All right. Begin implementing the plan. That's cool. Hopefully it can. I want to see how fast this is. So supposedly this is like significantly faster than Sonnet. So I want to see what that translates into. Because to be honest, Sonnet's pretty fast, but yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it taking a while. So building the core backend, I got to be honest, this feels faster, but I don't really have an objective comparison. And when I'm using Sonnet, I'm not usually actively timing it. So maybe this is the world's shittiest plan. Maybe what I should have done is had two windows, and in one of them I'm using Sonnet, and one of them I'm using Grok, that I compare them side by side. I don't have time for that shit. So, I mean, I don't want an objective AI comparison. I want to see what's helping me in the moment. And the truth is, using something like Fable would probably be awesome. Using something like ChatGPT 5.6 would probably be awesome. But the cost, it's cost prohibitive. So this is similar to Sonnet 5 pricing. It is comparable levels of performance. It is faster. And because it's on discount, because they want people to try it, it's cheaper. It's cheaper for now, but normally it would be about the same cost as Sonnet. So I guess we will see. And honestly, saying, oh, I don't want my money going to Elon is kind of like saying, Don't pour a bottle of water in the ocean because you oppose, sea level rise or something. I mean, it's just like at some point it just doesn't even make sense. Um, yeah. This feels faster. This really does, but I'm also looking for it to be faster. And all AI development is faster than any human could muster. So, like, does it even make sense to talk about it? Well, sure it does. Sure it does. Because, I mean, the idea has always been to. What the. Why does it need permission? Oh, because it's in a different project. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I think it's spinning up various subagents and they're working simultaneously. That would make it go faster, but that would also make it burn tokens a lot faster too. Hopefully that still works with sharing the cache. I don't actually know what the underlying mechanism is for spinning up subagents. So, proceeding to write the front end text stack. Woohoo! Okay, well, that's working. Let's see. Did I do the daily leak code? Should be a weekly competition. Sometimes I record myself doing the competition, and then it's just like I just fail so bad that like I'm embarrassed to upload it. And there was a daily problem where I mean I tried for about 45 minutes and I couldn't figure out what the bug is. And so I eventually asked AI, and it said, "Oh, your idea generally worked, but there was this one little thing." But I mean, I don't, I don't want to. It's like here's me using AI. I don't mind it here because I'm using it as a tool. But the thing about leak code is that's supposed to be your own, innate ability. Why is it asking for permission to change these files? That is stupid. Okay. Yeah, hopefully I'm not burning through tokens at a ridiculous pace here. This is supposed to be on discount. So wait, no. What? I wasn't expecting it to be at 0. Maybe it's delayed. Or maybe it's just that much of a discount. Tutor.py. Okay. Trying to keep up. Okay. SQLite concept store SRS. What does SRS stand for? God damn it. Well, it's the graduated interval we call exponentiation, but I don't know what SRS stands for. Supplemental review sessions. Okay, I really hate that abbreviation, but okay, if that's what it stands for. Okay, banded French lexicon, dual lane. All right. Yeah. Old backend content tutor removed. Stories is unused leftover. All right, cool. Still pending. Guided listening, passage text, grammar, textbook digest. Yeah. All right. Okay, please review the existing implementation and remaining work items. I have switched the active LLM. Please review the existing implementation and remaining work items. Treat this like a code review. And let me know if you see any problems before we proceed further. All right. So we will do an AI code review. I'm going to carefully review the backend code to identify any bugs, logic errors, potential race conditions. All right, sounds good. The main issue I'm catching is the Connect creates a new SQLite. Oh, that's the kind of shit that can really slow you down. One time I was using local LLM calls, and it was reestablishing a TCP connection for every call, and then it was blocking until the call was initialized. And even though it was only like a few hundred milliseconds, when you start chaining that to thousands of requests, that starts to become real delays. And by simply reusing the TCP connection, I was able to speed it up like something ridiculous, like 40%. And so it was still too damn slow, but you know. Hey, 40% is 40%. That's nothing to sneeze at. Okay. Now, it's possible that using something like Opus or GPT 5.6 for the review, or even Fable, might be better. But I'm trying to not have the thing where I'm half the way through the month and all of my premium tokens are gone. So Sonnet 5 seems to be, at least thus far, and I haven't written off Grok yet, but in my experience, before this morning, Sonnet was the best compromise of price and performance. Now there are definitely situations where the previous Sonnet model was not as smart as Opus, and switching it over made sense, but I haven't really seen a clear-cut case where Sonnet 5 just couldn't cut it. It's getting to the point where most of the models are good enough, and it's going to be fixing, little issues. I gotta be honest, this does feel slower. It really does. Maybe I'm being overly critical, but okay, yeah, it definitely should not be repeating administrations of the same words. That would be a problem. So rating gap for text ads, which could hijack legitimate. Oh. Watching your thinking made me realize something. If a sentence is administered, then both the structure of the sentence, the related grammatical concepts, and the words in the sentence, all of these should be marked right if the student gets it. However, because of token considerations, we may have a situation where we don't know that the student successfully did something. So there should be a list of successful things the student understood, words treated as a special case, and then we can say, hey, did the student. This might be useful. This might be useful for reconciling later. Probably not live. All right. Writes the Anthropic key to a delete equals false temp file with no cleanup. The Anthropic key should be used from its existing location without anything being copied. Nothing should be. Okay, unused import IO. Next probe bands fallback where every band is explored high, ignores explored state, and picks the global minimum band again. Only matters once the entire lexicon is exhausted. No, if every concept is administered, then the system should ask for more content, or the system should tell the user that all content is exhausted and give the option to, and say it needs more seeding. I'm the developer and the user, so I can deal with that at the time. It doesn't need to be solved now. Actually, just say done. It's in memory only. Expected for a local single user tool, but flash debug equals true reloader will wipe active sessions on any file save. Oh, memory between sessions is extremely important. I plan to use this tool over at a bare minimum months. So resetting progress is a serious problem. Make a paranoia user interaction log which summarizes right and wrong responses so I can recover from a catastrophic. How the hell do you spell that word? Fix the spelling. I know that it's wrong. I just don't know how to fix it. Catastrophic, not catastrophic. Oh, you know what? I was actually closer than I thought. Well, actually, now that I think about it, that's how you pronounce it. Why did I think it was cato? Whatever. So I can recover from a catastrophic failure, even if it's a pain. Yes, go ahead and fix the existing things. Update the plan as needed. But do not proceed to the next phase yet. I don't know what the hell that means. Update the plan as needed. Go ahead and fix the existing things. Okay, is there any... It's resolved per term. This always returns the same lowest rank on the same rows. Most of the batch gets reset to the LLM nearly untouched. Go ahead and fix the existing things. Update the plan as needed. The LLM should have some leverage in deciding what to administer. Say, here are 10, I don't know, X number of things marked as needing review. Needing drilling, you can pick one or multiple. If mixing seems reasonable. If this is a drastic change, we can delay this type of intelligence to the end of the plan. Do you have enough information to proceed, or do you have another question? I typed that wrong, but LLMs are pretty smart. It'll figure out what the hell I'm in. Da, 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 da. I need to think now how to track progress. I really do think Grok is faster, but I'm having Sonnet clean up just in case Grok made a mistake. And I want to be clear here. This is not me shitting on Grok. I think that it probably did a pretty good job, and LLMs often needs cleanup from another LLM or from a human. So I hope I'm not giving anybody the wrong idea. So far, I'm pretty impressed with Grok, but I still want a second opinion. When I was translating my store page for my Android app, I used the built-in Gemini translation tool as a starting point, and then I went through and I built a QA loop. And there were some pretty bad mistakes just on the first iteration. There was some HTML codes that had somehow gotten in there. I'm like, oh my god. So any LLM can have, you got to have a QA loop. And when I was doing the initial translations for localization for my Japanese flashcard app, it would get confused, especially on certain Indian scripts. It was non-Latin scripts. It would get very confused on. And there were a few that just kept popping up as problematic, like Bengali and Armenian. And I feel like there was one or two others that just stood out. There were multiple Indian languages that it was struggling on. And it would like do weird things, like start injecting English words into the translated script. So you need a QA loop to find stuff like that. And just trusting the output of any LLM out of the box is not a good idea. So yeah, I guess I got a little... I'm just going to say it. I really do think Grok is faster than Sonnet. Like, noticeably, tangibly faster. And that stands for something. Especially if you're just trying to get something done, quickly. Has this updated yet? I mean, I'm clearly using tokens. Okay, 2%. If I used 2% every single day for a month, what would that be? 31 days in a month, 62%, even if it's a rounding error, even if it's, 3%. I'm still under my usage. I should probably switch back to auto, but when I'm actually designing something, especially starting from scratch, I like a stronger model, which is exactly the reason that I consume all my damn tokens. It can't be helped. Catchphrases like "ne pas," "yeah." new matching logic, but I'm hitting a constraint. Advanced related topics. Now, until I've actually used this, I don't know if it's going to be complete shit or not. And I'm getting a little bit nervous here because I don't know why it's already talking about concepts. I don't think that we've ingested anything yet. Okay. Updating related concepts. All right. You know what? If it's pre-constructing an existing curriculum of thousands of words, and that's going for free onto my cursor bill that's already paid for, that's an interesting way to describe free. Well, if it's no additional charge, then yeah, maybe that's a good thing. Good catch. That's a real gap. I have enough to proceed, but let me check the AL library. Anthropic client interface first. So I fix the key copying issue correctly, then implement everything. I'm going to just let this run. All right, I came back and it was waiting on an allow prompt and I clicked allow. I should have started the video first. Sorry, but okay. So let's see what it's doing. It's actually been a non-negligible amount of time. I got some tea. So when I buy these little ginger tea packets, it comes with these bamboo prongs for getting the tea bag out because there's no string. And when I first got it, I'm like, oh God, what's that? But you know what? It's kind of fun fishing the tea bag out. So I will do that in a second when it's done steeping. I understand the value of not giving the LLM, carte blanche permissions. But it is kind of annoying when something that obviously should have been allowed, like, hey, can I touch the file inside of the project that you asked me to check? It's like, yeah, you can touch the damn file. Finish working, please. So I don't know. But at least once it did something that I did not want it to do because I had granted too many permissions. So I guess it's a balancing act. I haven't had any of these horror stories like deleting a database or something, but I think it would be a lot scarier if I were in like a production environment. And it's like I don't have any customers. There is no production environment. I'm at home on my home computer. So, but so to really screw things up, I would need, more people relying on me. And fortunately, I don't have that. I do not have that yet, at least. Okay. So I had some old RAM that I bought back when RAM wasn't so expensive, 64 gigabyte kit, and I sold it on eBay. And the people who bought it were resellers. And I don't know. I don't know why that bothers me. It's like I wanted somebody to use it in their system, but I mean, it's being purchased as basically as an investment so that the price can be jacked up. And I didn't look into it. Well, I didn't have a choice. It's not like you choose who the buyer is. So I guess the way that I should look at it is that I listed it underpriced. I thought 470. Well, I made it 470 for the 64 gigabyte kit exactly because I wanted it to sell. So I guess that should make me happy. It's just I don't know, I wanted it to end up in a system instead of, somebody being ripped off more. I don't I'm not trying to be like anti-capitalist or something, but it seems like the problem is that the price of RAM is too high. And yes, I get the irony. I understand that the entire reason that I was selling it is because the price was up. So it's, I don't know, I guess I'm being ridiculous. You know, if I were an artist and I painted something and some investor bought it to lock in a fucking warehouse because he thought the price was going to go up later or something, that would bother me. That's like sort of the same concept. I mean, it's a little different because obviously a piece of artwork has, you know, some intrinsic value, whereas a reproducible commodity, not commodity, you know, item like a stick of RAM. Every stick of RAM is basically the same. It's just, you know, what price you're going to get for it. So uh, it's not exactly the same, but it's like the same underlying concept. Um, I don't know. I think when I was quite young, I conflated with what ought to be with what should be allowed to be. And I feel like some people never grew out of that. I do think that that is an emotionally immature way to look at things. Um, and it requires thinking. It requires a brain and motivated value based. Is this stuck? No, it says it's still working. Maybe maybe Grok is much faster than I gave it credit for. Yeah, but on the other hand, I mean, shit, look at all this stuff that Sonnet is doing here. So now let's update the plan document to reflect all these fixes and add the deferred LLM leverage phase. Let me find it. All right, cool. Yeah, it's good. It's just doing fine to clean up. I see story1.json is still there. This was a leftover from the project we cannibalize. And so we probably need a general cleanup. Just general cleanup, it knows what I mean. From the project we cannibalized, which was nothing more than a proof of concept for ARS to LLM pipeline. Okay. I feel like it's stuck. Is it doing something? No, don't copy the clipboard. I want to know if you're stuck or if you're doing something. Well, like how long do I wait before I think it's broken? It appears to be doing something. I just use more tokens. Oh, god damn it. I have now used more tokens than I should have. The last thing that I want to do is interrupt it if it's actually working, but it seems like it's stuck. I clicked stop because it seemed like you were stuck. Please make sure the preceding action completed. Okay. It's It's like the entire UI is stuck. Well, that fixed it. Did it fix it? Reload the ID. What the hell is going on? I clicked to load the IDE. There we go. So there's no way to get back to the previous session. Is there any way to get back to the previous session? It was in the process of updating the plan, and it seemed like the froze. Agent transcripts. Found the plan. It found the plan. Okay, is there any way to get back to the previous session? I was in the process of updating the plan when it seemed like the agent froze. Continue from the AI tutor plan. This chat is fine if that works. This is where I finished. I clicked stop because it seemed like you were stuck. Please make sure the preceding action is completed. Also, I see story well, one JSON is here. This is leftover from the project we cannibalized, which is nothing more than a POC for ARS. It'll probably need a general cleanup. Let me switch it to Grok 4.5, which is supposedly faster. We are in agent mode. Okay. I probably should switch to auto. I need to switch to auto. You know what I think? I think the goddamn token allotment isn't enough. But even if it does use a premium model, come on, what are you doing? Even if it does use a premium model, you get a 10% discount, which, I mean, 10% isn't book the cruise, but you know, I'll accept it. So this is officially pissing me off. Is it frozen again? Like a poison pill injected in there that crashes anything that it touches? Oh my god. Do you value responsiveness in an application? Am I gonna have to switch to Visual Studio Code or something? What is going on? This seems to be instability in the UI layer inside of AI chat. Does it need an update? Is that what's going on here? Okay, neither of these sound like they address instability here, but you have to have the latest version installed in order to install the latest update. And clearly something is wrong. Normally this works. I'm just gonna cut off the video here, but pain in the ass. And I'm back. I downloaded the Cursor IDE, which looks suspiciously like just a LLM webpage. This looks significantly different than last time I tried to use it. If I really can't look at my code, I do not like the Cursor IDE, but whatever. Okay, confirm you can read the project and see the imported plan from the previous work. I'll check the project structure. Found plan, reading it, laying out. Okay, canonical copy of Cursor Plan AI, French Tutor. It's the gap filling French Tutor, not subscribe. Okay. All right. Okay. I don't know. I guess. Okay. Tell me what is done and what still needs to be done. Okay, I'll read the rest of the plan. Okay, done. SQLite concepts, frequency list, dual lane scheduler, Mistral generate, Haiku QA pipeline with logging, freeform session loop, voice UI, French TTS, review mode. All right. Guided listening. Okay. All right. Token conscious structural seeds for the scheduler and LLM directed admin. Give the LLM a short candidate list. Let it pick some next items deferred until 3 to 4 land. Guided listening, paste passage, sentence by sentence TTS, gap capture. Yeah. I just want to ensure that phase 3 means what I think it means before we proceed. I would select that mode and then somehow paste a passage, probably from a book, but it could be from any source. And then as I get things right, vocabulary will be added, and as I get things wrong, review items would be added somewhere. Also, there is a high probability that something will be included in text which has little to no review value, and the LLM needs to be empowered to label it as a one-off rather than putting it into circulation. If it is unclear whether something should be included, then a method of asking the user should exist. Verify this design aligns with the plan. Ask any questions. I could have multiple agents running at the same time. This is actually pretty friggin' cool, and I was probably unreasonable to write it off before. Get it right, vocabulary added somewhere on success, free-form credits, co-occurring lexicon is known and does not create review items. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Should only mark matching frequency list words as known, or also write never scheduled. Oh yes, if I knew words that were not included in the original list that should be noted somewhere, but the scope needs to be contained. The scope needs to be contained. Yes, he knew the French word for so it won't alter the frequency of existing words or priority, but in the future it will still say, oh, he knew this word. Yeah. And also, if it is determined that the word has educational value, it might go into a repetition loop if it is determined it was not the more common case. Okay. One off. When the LLM or you says something has no review value, do we discard it entirely, or do we keep a scheduled record, never scheduled, retired, so it doesn't get reproposed later? Interesting. For words, we should probably mark them as never review. For concepts, it is unlikely we will be able to effectively and efficiently look these up, so it should be logged but not reported. When does triage run? Only after you struggle on a line, or also at ingest, like proper names, stage directions, page numbers? In story mode, the default assumption should be that the student is going to understand and successfully translate the line. When asked, when diagnosing why they failed, only in the case they failed, then any of the failure reasons can be dismissed as unhelpful or edge cases without review potential after they are marked as a failure. Note: in the case of garbled text or like the LLM, no. Note: in the case of garbled text or extreme abbreviations, you know, deliberate misspellings, the LLM can choose to say that it is understandable that this was missed, and not flag anything for potential review. But the user should still be told what is going on. Clarify with user. Midline voice question. Schedule X for review. Yes, no, one off. I don't know what the flow is going to look like enough to. I don't know what the flow is going to look like enough to answer this. The voice activation should be the default interaction for passing cases, but I'm okay with switching to a text/GUI mode for marking things for review, or like for example, here is the sentence and possible grammatical vocab items you might or might not know. Select all which were problematic, or enter free form text to say what you struggled with. This would spawn potentially new items. In the case of idiomatic expressions, sayings, quotes, there may be human understandable explanations which are listed as skills. Fièvre de cheval. Yeah. Fièvre de cheval. Okay, that was not what I meant to click. Example, fièvre de cheval. This has no meaningful literal translation, so maybe it should be its own skill. The idea is to minimize the annoyance of reporting failures and consider negative voice prompts is the opposite of minimizing noise. Okay, so 5. What counts as low value by default? Proper names, titles, numbers, archaic, what the fuck is that word? What the fuck is that word? It's a word or expression that occurs only once within a specific context. Stage directions, repeated function words you already know. Well, words I already know shouldn't be proposed for potential review items. Unfortunately, I cannot predict every case in which something might not be relevant. Some proper names might. The element needs discretion. Probably based on a case study. Would someone living in France, watching movies, going to work, movies and shows, going to work, reading novels, benefit from having this skill. If the skill is hyper specific, like, I don't know, Star Wars, Star Trek only relevant to a specific franchise or hyper specific employment, or archaic, then it is not helpful. If it is likely to appear in a non-hyper specific context, like any sci-fi, then it will either be labeled as auto review or ask. There is certainly a gray area where something might or might not be helpful. In those cases, the user should be asked. Okay. Same reveal after flow as freeform. Here clip answer in English, see French text, then get or something leaner for long passages. Skip English paraphrase, just say got it. If the user successfully translates the provided context, then no follow-up is required. However, they should be allowed to go back to the previous or request to see it written. Maybe it is customizable. Always show French and wait even after right answers, which can be turned off. off if it's annoying. I don't want the last prompt to be lost, though. There should be a wait, show me the last thing, please. Or history log, which isn't disruptive and allows me to resume the lesson easily, even if I use it. All right. I hope that using the fast isn't just burning through tokens. Okay, default path, failure only path. Only after a miss do we diagnose. Candidate, vocab, vocabulary, idioms, and skills appear in a text GUI multi-select freeform box, not as a chain of voice prompts. That is correct, yes. Triage rule of thumb. Would someone living in France, media work novels benefit? Hyper-specific franchise job, archaic, out of circulation. Broad genre, useful, general sci-fi, auto-schedule, or ask. Gray areas, ask. Already known words are never proposed. Scope containment. Passage learned known words expand memory of what you know. They do not reshuffle the frequency like priority. Yes. I mean, I thought that was assumed, but if it was unclear, then that's fine. Versus written plan. Paste sentences, TTS line by line gaps, review queue with prominence. Jesus fucking Christ. Now, this is actually at least a word I've heard, but I still don't really know what it means. Place of origin. Remaining questions. Where do out of list known words live? New side table. Same as today's concept, or distinct label in the UI only. Pass signal, explicit voice. Okay. One out. You decide where to store things, but keep in mind that the sheer volume of words, vocabulary, probably mandates that it go in a different table than grammatical concepts or other custom skills like idioms. Okay, skills, same as today's concept or distinct label in the UI only. This should be the same. Pass signal. The question doesn't make sense. Here is the flow. User will hear text, will hear speech in French. Je suis bon. This represents one too many skills. Presumably, in lesson mode, this will always have at least one skill that the user isn't drilled in or that is marked for review. Okay, in story mode, it might be all skills the user knows and the system knows that the user knows or at least expects them to know. I don't know what it would look like, but I imagine it is something like word, no, god damn it. how do you... There we go. Word. Sentence structure. Noun. Verb. Article plus noun. Noun, subject, verb, verb, present tense. And then successfully passing this, all of the words are marked as mastered unless they have been failed in the past, in which case they are merely marked right and the interval adjusted accordingly. One sentence may test many skills, including weird and or unhelpful ones. Idioms, sayings, quotes, etc. I'm getting worried that it doesn't understand the flow that I want. Understood. You're right that the pass signal question was the wrong level. The important model is one spoken line, many skills with different expectations per mode. Always drills greater than one skill that is new or due. May be all skills you already know. Success is the default expectation. Je suis l'homme can cover je suis l'homme plus structure, plus any idiom saying if present. Skills not previously failed, marked mastered, known, out of review circulation. Skills already on the failure SRS track, marked correct, internal advance, not permanently mastered in one hit. Yes. Unhelpful, hyper-specific stuff should not enter the review store. If it only showed up as noise and analysis, it stays out. Log only for non-word concepts per earlier on fail. Okay. It sounds like it's getting closer to understanding. Storage decision. Words, lemmas, high volume, separate vocab, table, lexicon, OOV. What the fuck is OOV? It's starting to piss me off, actually. Out of vision. Okay. Does not sit. Interaction Chrome. UI for how you say pass can stay flexible while implementing voice first for the happy path. Richer GUI only when reporting a miss. History showed last time. One implementation constraint all follow unless you object. On the story pass only credit skills we can ground cheaply. We won't invent a full structure parse in new concept rows on every successful line. That would explode tokens and pollute the skill store. New structure idiom skills are created mainly on the failure triage. Yes. That sounds excellent. Please proceed with the implementation. All right. Hey, how's it going? So it looks like we're getting pretty close to seeing if it works. And I haven't looked at anything yet. So this may be the biggest failure in the history of mankind. So I guess we will see. All right. Okay, how to run. That's what I. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. You know what? You know what? Cursor ID is actually kind of cool. And the fact that you can have multiple agents running on multiple projects at the same time, that is also kind of cool. So, prerequisites. That should not be a problem. Okay. Do I need to activate? No, it's already in .venv. So, engage. Debugger pin. Fuck is a debugger pin? Okay. Whatever. Why can't I copy? I want to copy. Okay. I hate you so much. All right, find the gaps. You're not starting from scratch. Freedom. Sorry. Freeform probes vocabulary from frequency bands. Answer in English. After each clip, the French text is revealed. Say what you didn't know or what you already knew. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Okay.
Freeform mode. I'll probe vocabulary gaps from frequency bands. Answer in English. After each clip I'll show the French text tell me if something was new. What does do mean here?
Il fait du vent aujourd'hui.
Say it again.
Il fait du vent aujourd'hui.
Say it again. Say it again.
Il fait du vent aujourd'hui.
Here's the written line.
Il fait du vent aujourd'hui.
Okay. I just needed to make some commentary here. I don't really know what to do. Okay, so I know all of these words, but I guess I don't know. I'm just not good at listening to French or something. So il fait de vent aujourd'hui. So I guess I would mark il fait de and vent and aujourd'hui all as needing reviews. So okay. Okay. So let's come back here. Okay. So freeform mode. All pro vocabulary gaps. Okay. This is pushing a French word through English text speech. This is not ideal. It is unclear how to get to the didn't know list. If I missed something, I should be able to click a single button and get a drop or get a list of checkboxes of okay, some feedback. How do I stop it? How do I stop it? This is pushing due a French bird's ring. It is unclear how to get to the didn't know list. If I miss something, I should be able to click a single button and get a list of checkboxes of things which need review. This is a little weird in that I actually did know all of these words, but I just didn't recognize them in this pattern. Maybe we need maybe we need something softer than didn't know. Something like knew but didn't click or something. And if I've never heard something, we can put it at 8-hour review. But if I did know it, just didn't recognize it. This is mostly a functional change, but may have psychological. I need to acknowledge. Here's something. I think the English text to speech is excessive. Yeah. The sentence should be the review, though. It shouldn't be targeting a specific word. It shouldn't be targeting a specific word. So the English instruction should be listen and translate, not what does word X mean, because a sentence will be testing many skills. Please revise. Okay. Okay. I never specified freeform. So that's just a title that AI came up with. So. Okay. Yeah. This is a project. Acting like this was a little 5-minute thing was probably a little bit silly on my part, but no, I would like to actually make a real learn Spanish tool, not just a silly little thing that I sit down for 5 minutes. That might be my actual next app. But the truth is I'm getting downloads on my Japanese katakana vocabulary lists, and I went out of my way to not have any kanji and to not have any sentences, because in a highly context-specific language like Japanese, it's entirely possible that I don't even know what I don't know well enough to try to shape a lesson, and I would feel very bad giving wrong examples, yeah, or unnatural speech patterns. I made the tool for myself to practice sounding out Japanese words. That was the entirety of the purpose of the tool. And for that simplified, narrow scope, I think that I understand the concept well enough to make a tool where somebody can actually practice. And that I have very, very, very few users. So basically that user is me. It's not zero. There are a few users, which makes me happy. I would like there to be 100 or even 1,000 times more than there are, but it is also a hyper-specific tool. And people are attracted to the gamification of Duolingo. I think that a lot of people say they want to study a foreign language, and what they mean is they want to mess around in Duolingo for a few minutes. And that's fine. I'm not judging them. But my tool is for actually practicing sounding out words, not for, having an owl say good job. So and I'm not trying to be down on Duolingo either. I'm just saying that it doesn't particularly surprise me that a lot of people haven't downloaded my app. Well, and also how the hell would they hear about it too? So part of it is a marketing problem. I'm not a marketing guy. I'm not going to try to be a marketing guy. I'm certainly not going to spend any money trying to market. It'd be great if I had word of mouth, but the audience is so small. How many people want to understand how to phonetically sound out words written in kana? That's a pretty niche skill. And it's not that people don't want to be able to read Japanese, it's just that people either aren't to the level of reading kana, or they're past the level of reading kana. So who the hell is it actually for? Now, it's not that I don't think that there are more people like me, but I think people like me are probably not looking for a brand new app released to the Android App Store within the past few months, because they don't know that they need to be. I think I just talked myself into marketing, but I still have a budget for it, so I think. Let's take a look here. English instruction, always listen and translate. No French lemmas in the English TS. Drills are sentence level. A band may still seed the sentence internally, but you aren't quizzed. What is... Okay, cool. Need review button opens the checkbox list. Same triage UI story. Cool. Software labels, didn't recognize, new to me, one off. Okay, cool. After a translation attempt, reveal the French, got it, need review. I still don't know what got it means. I was expecting the LLM to grade me and know whether I got it or not. So, translate Je suis heureuse. Did I spell that right? I feel like I spelled that wrong. Je veux être amoureux. Okay. Yeah, I did spell it right. I need to translate. User replies, I am happy, and the system automatically knows they got it and wastes no more time advancing to the next sentence. In fact, the next sentence should probably have no English prompting at all. It's just the next sentence to remove all fluff, which makes which reduces overhead in long-running sessions. So he replies, I am happy. There's no... Yes. There will need to be an intervention if the translation... There'll need to be an intervention if the translation is wrong. But if it is right, we skip. And the user isn't even aware that database operations have happened. Automatic translation grading, so correct answer advances silently with a soft correction only when it's wrong, and drop English fluff between sentences. Sweet! But if my comprehension level remains 0, then I'm going to be generally fucked. Maybe I don't know French as well as I thought. Actually, I think I knew that I didn't know French as well as I thought. Oh well. Fixing a corrupted method in the LLM pipeline. Oh, God. There's an extreme heat weather warning, and I need to go water some plants. I should probably turn this off. Oh, come on, come on. I just got a notification from the BBC about an article. Dating can be hard in South Korea, so the monks stepped in. In my country, religious leaders make it harder to date. A monk draped in burnt orange robe faces a row of young men. Actually, I don't know anything about religiosity in South Korea. I mean, I've looked a little bit into religions in Japan just because I'm interested in Japanese culture. And honestly, if I looked at this picture right here, I probably would think that it came from Japan. What kind of temple is this? Buddhist. Okay, I would have said Buddhist. Why didn't I say Buddhist? Because I didn't want to say something stupid knowing that I'm being recorded. That's why. It looked Buddhist. Oh, okay. I see the picture of the monk. Looking at the monk, I would have known that they were Buddhist. Okay, so let's see here. French translate to English, correct database. Credit happens quietly. Next French clip wrong. Actually, that means need reviewer continue. Okay. just a clarification. The wrong okay, just a clarification before I run it. The wrong actually thing will then show the same list of yeah. I want to streamline the experience so it goes as fast as possible. We are already waiting on LLM calls, which could be annoying. So less clicks, generally speaking, is a good thing. And I might find that it is intolerably slow. Okay. I'll make a wrong translation, open the checklist immediately after the correction so there's no extra click. Sweet. I'm just imagining like Alex Trebek. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Okay. Everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people tell me when they're studying a foreign language that what they struggle with is generating sentences, but understanding what's being said to them is just super easy. They just got it down. And that has never been my experience in any language that I've ever studied. If you give me enough time, I can construct almost any sentence in a language that I've studied for at least a few years, if I have a dictionary and stuff. But understanding what's being said to me, especially if the person is talking fast, like, who are these people that is just like, oh yeah, I got that down, that's 100%. Like, am I really that bad? And then I get sort of these like conspiratorial thoughts. I'm like, wait a minute. Is that not actually true, but they don't have the effective tools to assess themselves, so they assume they know what the other person is talking about when they actually have no fucking idea? Or is it a straight up fabrication? Like, they don't know jack shit, but, you know, just saying that makes them sound better? I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just know that I really have trouble understanding spoken foreign languages. So what do you do? Okay, restart. Submit empty, nothing, continue if you don't want to commit anything. I'll make a wrong translation of the checklist. Add something which, God, that is loud. Add something which shows words mastered and words in date, just so I can see something incrementing and no database writes are happening. Master do counters in the UI so database writes are visible. I don't know if this is going to be useful, but you know, it is kind of fun to make it. So let's take a look-see here. Probably going to cry. Probably going to cry. You know what? I got to be honest. It doesn't seem like Grok 4.5 Fast is using any of my API usage at all. Like absolutely zero. I don't know if that's because I have a provisional credit, or I don't know if that's because it's so token efficient and inexpensive that it's just not incrementing this, or if it's something way dumber, like it's gonna be delayed and appear tomorrow and I'll be at 50%. I don't know. It does seem like Claude is much, much less token efficient, or it is unfairly scored. And that reflects a change. It seems like it got much worse at some point in recent history. So, okay, engage, copy. It's just going to be depressing if I don't understand anything.
Freeform. Translate each French sentence into English. Correct answers move on automatically. If you're wrong, I'll correct you. Tap me. Listen and translate.
J'ai vu une femme devant la maison hier.
Say it again.
J'ai vu une femme devant la maison hier.
I don't know.
This is a straightforward past tense sentence describing where someone was. The main challenge is likely the passé compose, AIBU, and catching the smaller words, devant, here, in connected speech. Work on recognizing these chunks as units.
Honestly, it's probably not new to me, but I didn't recognize it at all. No, I did, and I did understand that. J'ai vu une femme devant la maison hier. I do know that word. Damn it. All right.
Log 2 word, S, and 1 skill, S,
Elle
for
voyage
follow-up.
souvent dans son pays.
Say it again. Say it again. Ça, c'est complètement foutu.
Elle voyage souvent dans son pays. Elle voyage souvent dans son pays.
She traveled in her country? She traveled in her country? All right. Okay. This sucks. Sometimes the ARS stops working. There should be a stop and restart listening button added. I don't know. Should auto advance to the check boxes. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Sometimes the ARS stops working. It would be nice to be able to type the English if I so desired. Alternate input method. Especially if ARS is failing for some reason. I don't know, should auto advance to the checkboxes rather than being interpreted as a wrong answer or ignored. There should be a stop and restart listening button added, which fixes it on the back end. It'd be nice to type in English, so desired. I don't know, should auto advance the checkboxes rather than being interpreted as a wrong answer or ignored. Okay. Am I going to get a single sentence right? Maybe I need to stop telling people that I speak French or even that I speak a little French. If I can't understand a single sentence, and for the record, these are not very complicated sentences. It's not like this is some, 100-word long sentence from some literary, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. These are simple sentences. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I don't know. Typed English input route, and I don't know, straight into the triage. I did actually understand part of that sentence. I was just missing like a little piece, and that prevents me from generating the translation, which is exactly why I need a utility like this. I need to be drilled. I'll add a listen, restart, implementing, I don't know, restart, listen. Okay. Reloading. Okay.
Freeform. Translate each French sentence into English. Correct answers move on automatically. If you're wrong, I'll correct you. Tap Neat. Listen and translate.
L'enfant joue dans le parc chaque jour.
I don't know. I don't know.
This is a straightforward present tense sentence with common vocabulary. You likely missed one or more keywords, enfant, job, park, chalk, or didn't catch the familiar phrase chaque jour in the flow of speech. Review these individual words and listen for how they sound in natural tempo.
I mean, I do know the expression. No, I should say didn't recognize. Frequency expression. Chaque jour de plus, like that. SVO word order. Sentence lacks markedly complex syntax, but rhythm liaison may blur boundaries in speech. L'enfant joue dans le parc chaque jour. SVO word order. Okay. I don't think that.
Log 3 word, S, for follow-up.
J'ai vu le monde entier en un an.
Say it again. Say it again.
J'ai vu le monde entier en un an.
Here's the written line.
I don't know.
You caught a sentence with several intermediate level pieces. The main challenge is likely the passé compose, JAIBU equals I saw, and recognizing words like monde and entier in rapid speech. Review would help you catch these patterns faster.
J'ai vu le monde entier et on. What is the fucking translation? What's the translation? I saw the whole world in a year. Okay. World. Okay. God, this is going to take a long time. I need a don't know button as a quick reply below. The IRS is consistently failing. Maybe it was always a bad idea. Have it start disabled. The LLM explanation about the failure should not be read through TTS. By its nature, it will include French, but instead of fighting it, we should just let the reader or the user read it. The whole thing is failing, and this sucks, and life is pain, and in addition to this project being shit, apparently I'm also shit at French, so I should just feel bad. Okay. The latest failure indicated some problem. One, the French sentence should be presented with a translation alongside for reference. I was not able to see the translation. The missed words should be in French. Only concepts should be in English. The missed words should be in French. Only concepts should be in English. I don't care what they are in the back end, but there was an inconsistency where previous examples had the checkboxes in French, and this time they are in English, which indicates a problem in the back end and or prompt. If the skills are written in English, then they should, no, if they're written in French, then they should have an English translation. Always forcing both should force consistency. Okay. Okay, the misword should be in French. This is Mistral Medium with Haiku QA, right? So nothing too crazy expensive. All right. What happens if QA fails? Please add a module for seeing mastered words and skills. It shouldn't be the normal flow, but I would like to be able to see it. The ARS is supposed to make the lesson engaging and fun, but the repeated failures are just annoying me. Let's disable it for now and allow it to be switched on. This is Mistral Medium with Haiku QA, right? So nothing too crazy expensive. What happens if QA fails? Okay. Tighten triage labels to French plus gloss, and then add a mastered word skills viewer. Cool. If I could just get one sentence that, like, this is like seriously bothering me. Like, I thought I understood French better than this. These are simple. I mean, okay, I didn't know the word NPA. Okay, fine, fine. And if that's what it were, if that's what it was, I think that's how normal people talk. If that's all it was one word that I didn't know, that's exactly what I want. And then, it's like, okay, I'm going to review that one word. But when it's like every single sentence, do I know French at all? Like, I feel like I don't know French at all. And that's actually kind of pissing me off, which means I probably need a tool like this or something else. Get the front end for ASR off. Don't know. No TTS explanations. Triage FR plus plus and the knowledge viewer. Reloading, like, it's just dynamically reloading component. I mean, that's kind of cool on the one hand, but on the other hand, it's like, how does that work? And if I don't know how it works, then that's slightly alarming to me. Oh, life is pain. Life is pain. I need to do the daily number wordle. I should probably pause this recording. I don't know. Like, I'm ready for it to pop up in the next few seconds or something. So if it's 5 minutes, then yeah, I should pause it. But if it doesn't matter. If it's 30 seconds, I'll resume it in 30 seconds. That's the way to look at it. All right, I was doing number waffles, so I think I said number wordle. Like, I that's definitely not a thing. Number waffle, and I have no idea how long this took. So don't know. Yes, it does. Where was I? Where was I reading? Yes, Mistral Medium generates drills. It's good because it's a French company, so it knows French, and it's also really cheap. Claude Haiku 4.5 does QA grading intent and triage. Cheap relative to larger models. If QA marks a drill invalid, that prompt is skipped. And the session retries up to 3 times and tells you it couldn't produce a valid drill. Nothing invalid is spoken as a lesson. Cool. Alright. I'm getting kind of sick of this, so let's do it one more time. If I could just get one fucking sentence right, that would be great. Okay, so let's do a hard refresh.
Freeform. Translate each French sentence into English. Correct answers move on automatically. If you're wrong, I'll correct you. Tap neat. Listen and translate.
L'homme a du temps aujourd'hui.
The man has time today.
J'aime voyager et découvrir le monde.
I like to travel and discover the world.
Il a son livre en main.
I have no fucking idea. Hey, where's my don't know button? Where is my don't know button? Or is this my don't know button? Okay. Il a son livre en main. Oh! Didn't recognize. Il a son. Yeah. Okay. He has his book in hand. Oh, cool! It has the friggin' English there, and I got some sentences right. That I feel so much better. God, I was starting to question myself. Like, do I know any French at all?
Log 3 word, S, and 1 skill, S,
Elle a un
for
chat
follow-up.
noir. Elle a un chat noir.
Chalois. The fuck is that? What is chalois? Okay, well, hey, if I don't know the word, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. This is still being read aloud, and it is not good. And oh, and now chat noir. Yeah, I just didn't.
Log 2 word, S, for follow-up.
Ce pays a une longue histoire.
Okay. Gonna come over here. Hey, I meant to control C down there. Okay. Log 3 words. This is still being read aloud and it's not good. Reduce the spoken English TTS at the beginning to just translate. It gets clipped. That's okay. The next prompt generation should be generated before. The next prompt generation should be generated concurrently while the user is answering the last one. This might already be done. Okay, reduce the spoken English TTS at the beginning to just say translate. It's too long. The next prompt generation should generate it concurrently. 3 words, 1 skill for follow-up. This is being read aloud. It's not good. It gets clipped, but that's okay if we turn it off. Yeah. Wait, I still didn't see how to I'll look at the mastered stuff next. Apparently I'm failing a lot more often than I expected. So add a checkbox so that I can pre-fetch failed results to speed up, and those can be ignored. Yeah. Streamline the process so that the response, if failed, conditional, is already known before the user says that they failed. So I think what is happening now is French audio, I click needs review, this kicks off a new LLM call to Haiku, this response populates the screen. I would like this system to know how to react before it hears needs review or don't know, and be able to populate instantly without an additional call. We can gather the information for pass and fail at the same time. Also, I would like you to verify that needs review and don't know or I don't know are handled deterministically without requiring an LLM to interpret. Obviously, more complicated things like obviously unexpected failure methods might still require an LLM, but typically I will just click the review button. Okay. I would like the system to know how to react before it hears root, to be able to populate instantly without an additional call. We can gather the information for pass and fail at the same time. Also, I would like you to verify that needs review and don't know or I don't know are handled deterministically without requiring an LLM to interpret. Obviously, unexpected failure methods might require an LLM, but typically I will just click the review button. Okay. Let's take a look at how much pain this is causing. July 11th, haiku usage, 3 cents. I think we can probably survive that. Let's take a look here. Um, 4/10 of a euro. I just have a feeling we're going to be okay there. So let's come over here to DeepRAM. Log in. This is usually pretty cheap. So yeah, can I see usage? Oh god, I shouldn't go into billing. Logs. Let's see what it does here. So I'm pretty sure these are my sentences right here, but I want to know how much it cost. Show me how much it cost. Show me the goddamn price. Okay. So this is pennies, tenths of a penny, hundredths of a penny. Once again, I think we're probably okay. Oh God. 1/10 of a penny. yeah, we're fine. Okay, this is not going to break the bank. Now, if I were using a very high-end model, this could get expensive very quickly, especially if I were using, say, an interactive voice agent mode that were multilingual. I mean, that could turn into real money real quick. If I charge $1 and I'm actually learning French, I'm fine with that. However, if there's any cost, then the ability to extend this to other people is obviously limited. I can't say, hey, try out my tool, and if 1 million people make a 1 penny request, well, sorry, that's actually real money. So let's come back here. Let's see what it's doing. It's thinking. Come on, Grok 4.5 fast. Put the fast in your name. Okay, wait a minute. Is it calling Grok 4.5 the same as Auto? For the record, I am 100% okay with that. Not being able to access Auto or feeling like I'm being forced to use weaker models is very frustrating. Now, this is inconsistent with any billing mechanism that I know, but if Grok 4.5 is pretty damn good, first-party models. First-party models. It doesn't say Auto, it says first-party models. Okay, let's see here. I noticed cursor billing stopped saying Auto and now it says first party models. Does this mean that I can use Grok 4.5 and pull from what I previously called the auto allotment without hurting my API allotment for the month? Because if so, that would be awesome. Please verify with a web search since all of this is past your training. Okay. I'll check Cursor's billing docs and recent announcements to pin down how exactly first-party models API used in the old auto bucket now interact. The core answer is already clear. Cursor explicitly says Grok 4.5 draws from the renamed first-party models pool, the old auto plus composer pool, not the API usage. That is fucking awesome. All right, Cursor renamed. Okay, so yes, this whole answer could just be reduced to yes. Grok 4.5 consumes the first-party allowance according to its own token price. It is not equivalent to Auto or Composer on a one request for one request basis. Standard Grok 4.5 generally drains the pool faster than standard Composer 2.5, while the fast variant costs more than the standard Grok. I should not be using Grok 4.5 fast, but no. That is awesome. My takeaway is that I am probably going to stop ending the month at 2%, 100%, 100% API, which is really annoying. And that I should not be using Grok 4.5 fast because it is charging me more needlessly. I'm sorry, I'm sold. I'm not happy that I'm financially supporting Elon Musk, but I have no fucking choice. So whatever. Okay. Standard fast. Holy shit. So it is 3 times more expensive for output. This should be dramatically better than ending every month with 98% of one pool wasted while the other's completely exhausted. How much faster is Grok 4.5 fast anyway? It being faster than Sonnet 5 is the main reason I would use it. Well, the billing is now also a reason, I suppose. But let's focus on the speed for a second. I'll separate raw model throughput from real cursor agent speed because fast can feel much faster even when the token rate difference is not the whole story. Indeed, the token rates is not the same story. And different frameworks deal with this in different ways. It seems like Anthropic's way of dealing with it is fuck it. If it's slow, it's slow. And then OpenAI's way of dealing with it is we're just going to spin up 100 subagents. We don't care if that drains the bank. That's probably good for our bottom line. And then Grok's way of doing it is, hey, the actual initial throughput is just going to go faster and we'll charge a premium for the acceleration, excuse me. Cursor has not published an exact speed multiplier for Grok 4.5 fast versus Grok 4.5. Its announcement gives the pricing. Yeah, maximum adaptive reasoning is that's not. Okay, 14 seconds before its first answer token, 216 seconds. Yeah, the tokens per second does not tell the full story. So once text is streaming, ordinary Grok is only about 18% faster. Grok can feel several times faster because Sonic may take vastly longer reasoning before producing its answer. This is consistent with my understanding. Use standard Grok 4.5 by default. Okay, I am going to do that. Grok 4.5. What is going on? 50% off, high effort. I'm not seeing just regular Grok here. Pissing me off. Well, if that's the only one that's available, it's the only one that's available. I'm using a pool that I basically wasn't using at all. Okay. And it's 50% off, so I would have consumed much more than that. That's fine. It is done, and let's run it again. Wait. I would like an option to stop after the current administration. It feels wrong to leave a lesson with a prompt waiting for me. So while answering or while filling out a needs review, I should be able to select stop lesson after this prompt and have it gracefully end rather than administering a prompt I have no intention of responding to. Also clarify how to view the mastered word list. This was not clear to me. Also clarify if it will interrupt the current lesson / prompt. All right. Stop after this prompt control and make the mastered word viewer clearer, including that it won't interrupt the current lesson. Okay. If the Grok 4.5 high fast is the one that's 50% off, which it probably is, it means that they're trying to put their best foot forward in order to get people using their model. The speed and the price and using the other pool are very convincing reasons for me to actually use it. I didn't like it because it wasn't as good and I didn't want to pay out of pocket for it. But if it's covered inside of my cursor plan, then basically it's like I'm getting free tokens. I didn't enjoy using auto before because I felt like I was being forced to very, very low-end models, which would then screw up and force me to repeat the prompt. It doesn't sound like that's what's happening. So, I mean, if there's a compelling use case to use something, I'm going to use it. That's just the way that it is. And the fact that it is very close to, and in some cases exceeding Sonnet 5 levels, that's fucking awesome. And if it's being happened by intellectual theft and sabotage, well, that really sucks. But the world sucks, and it's not my personal responsibility to fix it. So, honestly, if I wanted to give the middle finger to Elon, what I would do is cancel my cursor subscription. And apparently, I just can't manage that. So it's too damn hard for me. I'm too weak as a human being. I'm too powerless. I'm too disenfranchised. The world exists for the sake of stripping me of my autonomy and turning me into a tool to extract resources from. But guess what? The world was like that before Elon. So, middle finger to the world. We went straight to hell when we voted for. Well, no, not bringing politics into this shit. Okay. Stop after this prompt. So, word mastered. God, I feel like there was one other thing. What was it? I don't remember what it was. I'm like, oh god, I want this other thing, and I have no clue. So, all right. Absolutely no clue. Yeah, so let's see here. If I'm not using the ARS, no, just I don't want it to harass me that, oh, this doesn't work.
Translate.
J'aime ma vie à la campagne.
Oh, cool.
J'aime ma vie à la campagne.
J'ai mes vie.
J'aime ma vie à la campagne.
I'm not sure. All right. I like oh my god, I was so holy shit. Okay, I should probably call it a day. J'aime la vie à la campagne. Okay, no, it's not that.
Je veux visiter un pays que je n'ai jamais vu.
I would like to see a. Say again.
Je veux visiter un pays que je n'ai jamais vu.
I would like to visit a country that I have never seen.
Skipped a bad prompt. Target underscore sense underscore n and target underscore fr don't match the fr underscore prompt structure. CE is a demonstrative adjective here, but the prompt asks for general translation rather than ident. Skipped a bad prompt. Target underscore FRCE is a demonstrative adjective / pronoun, but the prompt uses it as a determiner before lever should target the full phrase or use a clear. Skipped a bad prompt. Target underscore sense underscore and that / this is incorrect for CE in this context. CE is a demonstrative
Shit. Okay, it got stuck. It seems like we wrote a QA prompt structure which made it impossible to assess use the word, which is a very common French word. This is speculation. Please investigate and suggest. Please investigate and implement a solution. The problem is almost certainly that the QA is being too strict or is being fed a requirement which is leading to an impossibility. I hope that a log of the LLM requests exists and can be used for debugging. If it does not, then please add it, especially for cases of rejected QA like this. Okay, think I'm going to end the video here. Clearly, this is a project that's going to take some work. I think the loop is working, and I eventually got a French sentence right, so I do think that this is a good place to stop. Okay. Yeah.